Epic Games have just announced some huge changes for the coming season. This is the biggest alteration to competitive Fortnite in a long time. But is it good? Well, I'll let you know in a moment, and because I'm nice, I'll also tell you how to succeed in this new format. But first, I'll tell you all the important details of what is going to happen. Duos is still the main game mode, but that's just about the only thing that isn't changing. There is no FNCS. For the first time in over 3 years, we have a season without it. Instead, we get the Fortnite Divisional Cups. Here is the diagram that they released, and I will talk you through it. First, we have a Placement Cup on the 24th of September, which is just a week into the season. To play in that, you'll need to reach Contenders League in Arena, which is not many points, and you should have no problem doing that quickly. Arena hype will reset immediately at the start of the season. The Placement Cup will have 2 rounds. The top 1400 duos in the first round will get to the second round. In the second round, your aim will be to finish in the top 200 so that you get into the Elite Division. The next 1000 duos will go into the Challenger Division, and the bottom 200 will go back to be with everyone else in Contenders. That is the only qualifying tournament of the whole season. After that, there will be 7 weeks of divisional tournaments, and each week has sessions on Wednesdays and Fridays. In the Elite Division, you'll be playing those 2 sessions to try and qualify in the top 50 for the Saturday Elite Cup weekly final. They haven't said exactly how that qualification works, but I guess it might use average placement or total points across the 2 sessions. The Elite Cup weekly final will be where the cash prizes are, with the top 40 earning on each region, and exact prize pools still to be determined. If you're in the Challenger Division, your aim is to finish near the top of a Challenger Cup either on Wednesday or Friday to get promoted to Elite for the next session, and likewise in Contender, you'll be trying to get promoted to the Challengers. Here are the number of teams that get promoted each week, with more teams on EU and NA East than the other regions. It wasn't made clear, but I assume half the duos will come from each of the 2 weekly sessions. There is no relegation. This means that we start with 200 in Elite, but by the 7th week we will have 380 duos on EU and 260 on the small regions. Another important thing to note is that the Placement Cup is region locked, so you can only play 1 region in that. However, you can play as many regions as you want in the weekly tournaments, so you'll have to start down in the Contenders Cup and make your way up through promotion if you want to play Elite in multiple regions. In terms of switching duos, you can change to other players in the same division as you at any time. The one exception is in Elite, where you cannot change during the week between Wednesday and Friday. Now that you understand the format, let's talk about whether it's going to be good. Competitive Fortnite has recently felt like it needs a revamp. Through late 2018 and early 2019, everything built up towards the World Cup. It was the biggest event in esports history at the time, and might still be the most hyped event ever. After that, FNCS brought in a new era of competitive Fortnite, and this seasonal tournament kept the interest going very well at the start. We thought that there would be more World Cups around the corner, but COVID stopped that from happening for a couple of years, and we just settled into the rhythm of 1 FNCS every season and no LANs. But online FNCS became boring after a while, so participation rates and viewership has slowly dropped over the last 2 years. There has been less hype around FNCS over time, with a lot of that being due to the changes in the tournament format, which I will talk more about in a future video. It has reached the stage where I don't think seasonal online FNCS can bring any revival to the scene, even if it was tweaked. Thankfully, as you all know, we have something different coming this season. The biggest event will be an international LAN, with all the best teams in the world finally coming together for the first time since the World Cup. This will be a huge event. Not as big as the World Cup, but for sure all fans of the game will be watching it intently. An invitational LAN with 100 players is not enough for competitive Fortnite though. There are hundreds of thousands of competitive players who want to play tournaments every week, and this new format is what they have been provided with. We've been given a divisional system that runs through the season, giving chances of promotion to the upper levels. Is it perfect? Almost certainly not, and Epic will be well aware of that, but this is the first try of this system. Whatever happens this season may affect the direction of the coming years massively. How I see it is that it's a proxy to a ranked system. Arena is not a proper ranked system, we all know that, and a ranked system that runs 24/7 and requires 100 players of similar skill levels for each game is basically impossible. So instead, Epic are turning tournaments into a halfway house between a ranked mode and what we consider to be traditional tournaments like Cash Cups. Given that, I think the divisional tournament system they are introducing is a fantastic idea to keep players motivated throughout the seasons. What players want is to have something to work on regularly or to grind towards, some sort of ranking that they can be proud of and compare themselves to others, and this gives us those things. In the future, I would love to see even more divisions, maybe up to 10 divisions with 1,000 players in each, especially in the big regions. I want to see relegation added as well. But this is just the start, and I'm sure Epic are keen to see how this first iteration goes before adding more complexities. Another point to note is that it's also perfect timing to try it out, with this being a short season basically covering October and some of November, and the potential for a new start in the new year. So how can you succeed in this new format? Well, before I go any further, you might be interested to know that I'll be giving detailed guidance for all the tournaments in my premium Discord service, and ensuring that all of you play your best by helping you with your questions. There's a free trial for you to try it out, then it's $8 a month to help to support my work. Links below in the description. For now, I have some general guidance though. The Placement Cup will be very important for you. There is no relegation, so if you have a good tournament, you are sorted for the rest of the season. On the contrary, doing badly will leave you with an uphill battle. Any pro that misses out shouldn't have too much trouble getting promoted quickly, but for the level of players under that, it won't be so easy. And given that the Placement Cup is the first event, you must prepare well in the new season. There will be a new loot pool and map changes, so you need to play a lot of scrims to get used to the new meta. Watch any videos that give you guidance to pick up new tips and tricks, and VOD review anyone that seems to be playing well. Also, practice your drop spot a lot, especially if it's new for you, because as you should already know, too many off-spawn deaths will destroy your qualification. You can do this in Arena, where instead of keying everybody in sight, just pretend it's a tournament where you want to play more sensibly and rotate out at the appropriate times.